It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today I'm really excited to show you a beer which I'm very fond of, or the series of beers I'm very fond of. It's of course Nøgne's Dark Horizon series. This is number 6, released in 2019. The first ever release was 2007, so they've done over 12 years, they've done 6 editions, that's one every other year. It's a barrel-aged beer in a beautiful package, a nice timber lid to the box. Without further ado, let's get it out and show you. Here's the lid. I'm wearing a Nøgne t-shirt. I have a bottle of their Dark Horizon 6 and I've got a Nøgne bottle opener. The beer was kindly sent to me by the brewery. As always, we're going to give a 100% independent review on the channel. There's the bottle cap. So it's been described as black chocolate, coffee, wood and vanilla, 15% ABV. I think we've covered everything. It's a 330 milliliter bottle. Without further ado, let's get this beer, Dark Horizon 6, out into a glass, see what we get. Nice little bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass then. Oh, listen to that glug. And of course, with a barrel-aged beer like this, you're not gonna, at 15%, you're not gonna create that much of a head. It's gonna dissipate very quickly. You can see the alcohol legs climbing, the beer with the alcohol legs climbing up the glass there. Looks terrific, a jet black beer in the glass. Let's get the aroma. Oh. Raisin, plum, prune, fig, chocolate, coffee, caramel coming from the roasted malt. Very vinous in the aroma. The barrel, we'll find out on the barrel. So the ingredients are local water, malted barley, muscovado and demerara sugar, hops, coffee and yeast. Let's dive in. We'll get into the barrel a little bit later on. It's woody. I'm pretty sure it's some kind of whiskey of some kind. Bourbon barrel-aged whiskey. Or bourbon whiskey. Let's dive in. Oh. That is so complex. First of all, I want to talk about the mouthfeel. Chocolate, coffee, caramel mouthfeel. When I say chocolate, coffee, caramel mouthfeel, what I really mean is if you put some chocolate in your mouth, it kind of melts, and it's kind of, if you hold it in your mouth, it's sticky, it melts, it's got a great body. Same as a big thick cup of coffee, same as some sticky caramel. So a big engine oil like consistency to the beer, real thick gloopy beer. So rich, so rich. There's hints of coconut, vanilla, raisin, plum, figs and prunes. Tremendous beer. You get a little bit of alcohol warming as the beer kind of slides down into the throat, into the pit of the stomach. I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I was lucky enough, I was in Norway 2 years ago, and I was lucky enough to try Dark Horizon 5. And although I really liked the beer, immediately, straight away, I'm going to say this is a better beer. This is a better example of a beer. It's more rounded. There's a lot more body. There's a lot more flavour coming from the beer. The raisin, the plum, the fig, the prune, the coffee, the chocolate, the caramel flavours, the coconut, the vanilla, the woodiness. It's all combining to make one absolutely awesome, awesome Imperial Stout. Imperial Coffee Stout. I'm reviewing this 5 days before Christmas. This is a real treat at this time of year. Tomorrow is the shortest day. In Norway they call it sunturn, where it starts to become brighter and lighter. We're a little bit luckier down here in the UK. It didn't get dark till about 4 o'clock on the shortest day, but it's been a grim month. It's been cold and wet and windy and awful and dark, and the reason why I believe beers like this are produced at this time of year is just to get you through. I'm not going to mince my words here. I think beers like this are brewed just to get you through them awful, wet, cold winter months. If you live up in the north like we do, the northern hemisphere, it can get quite dark. Cold. This is warming. I'm talking about the cold because this beer is warming me from the inside out. I can feel the pit of my stomach, the warmth from the alcohol hitting me, and the warmth in my throat. Yeah, just absolutely lovely, 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 lovely beer. Stone the Crows. Right. Do they mention the barrel? We never rush a Dark Horizon release. It is not to be taken lightly. Barrel aged for 3 years. Wow. In Almanac barrels. There we go, guys. Almanac barrels. I've got no idea about whiskey, so you might know. You might have a better understanding than me. Almanac. Armagnac. That's kind of, you understand where I'm coming from. Blended to perfection and bottled almost a year ahead of the release date. The Norwegian White Whale is back. Yeah, this is the real beer that made Nøgne famous, really. Fantastic example of a beer. 100 IBUs, 100 IBUs, international bittering units. It's something, because the beer is so complex, it's so easy to miss something. I didn't really talk about the bitterness. I was so invested in the malts and the whiskey and the barrel agedness of this beer that I've completely forgotten about the bitterness. But really, I mean, it's so well drinkable for 100 IBU beer. I mean, unless you read the bottle like I have, 100 IBUs, you would kind of struggle to come to terms with that kind of IBU, that international bittering unit of 100. That's the most your palate can take, bitterness wise. It's probably got to do with the woodiness, the barrel, the whiskey, all of the chocolate, coffee, caramel flavours. They realised over the years that they've needed to make the beer 100 IBUs. It is bitter. I'm not saying it's not bitter. It's just, pardon me, not as bitter as other styles of beer. Like a double IPA, for example. I'm ready to rate this beer. This has been one of the highlights of 2019. We're right at the end of 2019. This is bottle number 334 out of 7,200. Yeah, tremendous beer. Absolutely tremendous beer. ready to rate it. Dark Horizon number 6 for me. If I'm going to say it's one of the highlights of my 2019, then I can only give it a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!